This is lesson 4-4, factoring quadratic expressions. Factoring is rewriting an expression as a product of its factors. The key points of factoring. The quadratic trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. The factors of c must add up to equal b of x, and the two numbers you add up to equal b of x must also multiply together to equal c. For example, x plus 4 times x plus 2 is equal to x squared plus 6x plus 8. The two factors that multiply together to get c must also follow the correct signs. And for all your answers, you should be able to use FOIL, first, outer, inner, last, in order to check your answer. Factoring ax squared plus bx plus c when b or c is a positive 1. For example, in the problem, y squared plus 15y plus 36. You need to make a chart of all the factors of c, which is 36. So that is 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, 6 and 6. And from these, you choose the ones that when added together will equal 15. So of all the factors, 3 and 12 add together to equal 15. And you plug them into the equation x plus a number times x plus a number, which would be x plus 3 times x plus 12. X squared plus 10x plus 16. Make a chart with the factors of 16, which would be 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. And choose the ones that when added together will give you a positive 10, which are 2 and 8. Now plug them into the equation and you get x plus 2 times x plus 8. You can check your answer using FOIL. So x to the x, x to the 8, 2 to the x, 2 to the 8. And this gives you the equation x squared plus 8x plus 2x plus 16. And when you combine like terms, you get x squared plus 10x plus 16, which is the same as the original equation. Factoring ax squared plus bx plus c when b or c is equal to negative 1. For example, in the problem, x squared minus 5x minus 14. Make a chart with the factors of negative 14, which would be negative 1 and 14, 1 and negative 14, negative 2 and 7, 2 and negative 7. Plug them into the equation and you get x minus 7 times x plus 2. If the c is positive and b of x is negative, then the two factors of c would both be negative. Now you try. X squared minus 10x plus 24. Make a chart with the factors of 24 that will also give you negative 10 when added together, which would be negative 1 and negative 24, negative 2 and negative 12, negative 3 and negative 8, and negative 4 and negative 6. Negative 4 and negative 6, when added together, give you negative 10. So you plug them into the equation and you get x minus 4 times x minus 6. Be sure to check your answer using FOIL. X to 6, x to x, 4 to x, 4 to 6, giving you the equation x squared minus 4x minus 6x plus 24. Combine like terms and you get x squared plus minus 10x plus 24, which is the same as the original equation. Factoring ax squared plus bx plus c when a is equal to negative 1. When ax squared has a negative in front of it, you have to factor out the negative 1. For example, in the equation, negative x squared plus 13x minus 12. You factor out the negative 1, giving you negative, parentheses, x squared minus 13x plus 12. And then you take the factors of 12 that when added together give you negative 13. The factors of 12 are negative 1 and negative 12, negative 2 and negative 6, negative 3 and negative 4. And the ones that add together to give you negative 13 would be negative 1 and negative 12. You then plug them into the equation and you put the negative on the outside, giving you negative x minus 1 times x minus 12. Now you try. Negative x squared plus 3x plus 40. Factor out the negative 1, giving you negative x squared minus 3x minus 40. Take the factors of negative 40 that when added together give you negative 3. The factors of negative 40 are 1 and negative 40, negative 1 and 40, 2 and negative 20, negative 2 and 20, 4 and negative 10, negative 4 and negative 10, 5 and negative 8, negative 5 and 8. So the factors that when added together equal negative 3 is negative 8 and 5. And you plug them into the equation. And you put negative, and then in parentheses, x plus 5 times x minus 8. Use FOIL again to factor it out. X, giving you the equation negative x squared minus 8x plus 5x minus 40. When you combine, you get negative x squared minus 3x minus 40. You then distribute the negative 1, giving you the same equation as before. Negative x squared plus 3x plus 40. Greatest common factor. Greatest common factor is a common factor of the terms in the expression. First, you find the factor that goes into all the terms and pull it out, and then use distributive property to regroup the expression. For example, 6n squared plus 9n. You can pull out both a 3 and an n, making it 3n times 2n plus 3. Another example is 4x squared plus 20x minus 56. First, you can pull out a 4 out of all of them, giving you 4 times x squared plus 5x minus 14. This is not completely factored out until you then put it into the two separate parentheses, which would be x minus 2 plus, or times x plus 7 with a 4 on the outside. You do the same thing that you would do to solve any other quadratic equation and then put the 4 on the outside. Now you try. 27p squared minus 9p plus 18. Out of all of these, you can only pull a 9. So it would be 9 times 3p squared plus, minus p plus 2. The rest of this problem is now unfactorable because of the 3 in front of p squared. So you leave it in this form. This concludes Lesson 4-4, Factoring Quadratic Expressions, Part 1.